Hi, everyone. My name is Kim Burkland-Ward, a licensed clinical social worker, certified IFS therapist, and approved IFS clinical consultant. I'm also an EMDR practitioner, and I do combine the two methods of psychotherapy when it's really called for and can be very effective. Today, I want to talk about shadow work, healing your shadow, integrating your shadow, working with archetypes. But here's what I want to say: IFS is shadow work. And when we talk about the shadow, we're talking about what Carl Jung described as the parts of ourselves that we've had to repress or deny. These are parts that got shamed early in life or that weren't safe to express, like rage, neediness, sensitivity, or even joy. Parts of us that got told you're too much, you're not enough, you're not okay, you're not lovable, whether that was intended or not. And what I love about IFS is it doesn't just talk about the shadow, it actually gives us a way to work with it that really results in transformational and lasting healing. So let's talk about why IFS works. It's not just a theory, it's a proven evidence-based psychotherapy model, and it's also a deeply spiritual one. And I believe that's why it really works. It teaches us that we're made up of parts. Many of those parts are protectors, trying to keep us away from our pain. And behind them are what we call exiled parts, wounded, shamed, vulnerable parts that live in the so-called shadow. And that's because we can't see them or know them easily in our mind, but we know they are actually running our lives much of the time. IFS can help us access it and heal it through what we call the self. That's that calm, clear, compassionate presence that is actually within each one of us. And from that self, we can meet our parts, witness them, love them, help them release their burdens. That is shadow work. It's not just analyzing it, naming it, or bypassing it with positivity or willpower. Um, do affirmations and willpower, do those help? Oh, well, yes, they do. But let's be honest, that gets exhausting. It doesn't create the lasting change you really need. So lasting change comes from doing that deep inner work, from going inside into what we call the unconscious, the right brain, and meeting those parts or discovering them that you might not have been aware of or that you try to keep suppressed. And I believe that's where the real magic and healing happens. And that's also the reason I think we might actually be existing, honestly, or at least a major developmental step on the path to enlightenment. So if you're drawn to doing your shadow work and you want something real grounded and transformational, actually is going to work, IFS is that path. It's not always easy, but I do believe it is a sacred path that is worthwhile. So thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best on your healing journey.